Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Let's Talk Tuesdays podcast. I'm your host, Brendan Plays. Normally, this is the show where we answer all of the questions that you guys send in every single week. You know the rest of the drill. But unfortunately, because of missing last week's show, we don't have any questions lined up. And if we do, they're all kind of outdated, related to last week, that we are going to cover a little bit today. But it's basically all, things that a week ago in wrestling feels like an eternity. So we're not going to talk about those questions. So this week we won't have the questions. Instead, we're just going to talk about the main key topics like we normally do, but we just won't have the questions at the end. But do send your questions in today by leaving a comment in the comment section down below or at the forums at brendanplays.com/forums. The link to that will be in the description down below. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at brendanplays to stay up to date with everything to do with myself. Now, this has been a busy week in terms of wrestling, and it's also been a week that I missed. Well, I'm talking about last week. I missed last week because I have not had any internet, which has been a reason why I wanted you guys to kind of follow me on Twitter, because I have been posting my updates on the Twitter page, and some people have been going, where the hell are you? Why aren't you uploading videos? Where's the next video? Why hasn't the podcast been uploaded? Some people kind of wondering what's going on, so stay up to date on my Twitter. That's really the best way to always know what's going on with me. There's the cheap plug for the episode done. But anyways, where have I been? We're going to talk about that in a moment. This week as well on the show, we're going to talk about WWE Fastlane coming up. We're going to do a quick review on the Royal Rumble and what exactly went down. AJ Styles' debut, Triple H winning the title, Austin Aries debuting in NXT, a couple of injury news as well, and we're also going to talk about this week's Raw. So that's mainly the main points of today's show, so we're going to get into it straight away by talking about what is going on with me. I like doing this. I like kicking the show off with a little bit of me. And there's a reason why I'm doing it this week, because obviously I want to explain what the hell happened last week. Missing a show is something I hate doing, and I think we were on track to have our 100th episode the week before WrestleMania. Now it's going to be the week after WrestleMania, probably, so I'm a little bummed out about that. I kind of want to try and ignore that that ever happened, but unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. But yeah, so this week, the last 2 weeks have been a real pain. I mean, honestly, I'm so frustrated with what's been going on. It's unbelievable. You guys probably will feel my pain in some ways, and a lot of you guys will probably feel annoyed with me, but it's just been a really shitty last couple of weeks. Basically, a couple weeks ago on the show, I told you guys I was getting my internet upgraded. Great. Happy days. I was excited. I was really happy for it. They came the next day. They came along, upgraded my internet. So the people who do that in Australia are called NBN. So that's kind of like the big fancy upgrade that we get in Australia. It's not really that great, but it's a plus. It's a bonus. It's a step up, I suppose. And our government, they organise that, the big fancy company and whatever. But they were good. They were great. They came along and did that really well. So I'm happy about that. NBN was fantastic. They came along, up, installed that, all ready to go, working fine. They, set everything up for us. Fantastic. But the other company we have to deal with, our internet service provider, Telstra. Now, a lot of you Aussies will know how shitty Telstra is. They fucked us around. They said, look, it'll take maybe 6 hours. If the latest, it'll be up and going by the morning. It'll be up by tomorrow. Don't worry, it'll be all activated, because what they had to do was they had to switch our old ADSL internet over to NBN. So, fair enough, alright, we have to wait a day, so be it, I can live with that. I can go a day without internet, surely I can do that. Go a day without uploading a video, the people will understand. So, a day has gone past, I wake up the next morning, and here we go, I turn the laptop on thinking, alright, sweet, we've got NBN, our internet's going to be quicker now, let's see how fast it is, maybe I can live stream, maybe I can do this. Thinking about all the great things I can do with it, I get online, and it doesn't work. Does not work. So, NBN is a big fail, it doesn't work, still. So, we called up Telstra, and we got a nice Indian man to talk to us who could barely speak English. I love my Indian fans, by the way, but this guy was not so great at the English speaking, and he basically told us, look, it should be on as soon as possible. We're trying everything we can to get it online for you, and we don't know when it will be. You're just gonna have to wait, and it will come on eventually. So we thought, okay, well, whatever, maybe it'll take an extra couple days. Fair enough. I was thinking originally it might take 3 or 4 or 5 days at least. So I was kind of skeptical to begin with when they said, yeah, it's going to be on straight away. I didn't really buy into that. I was hopeful, but didn't really buy into it. So I thought, okay, a few more days, I can live with that. So a few more days pass, and again, still not online, and now 2 weeks pass and still not online. And what have they been able to tell us? Nothing. They've been basically saying, oh, it'll be online when it's online. It'll get there eventually. It'll be on eventually. You just have to wait. So they've been absolutely useless. They've been a real pain in the ass, honestly. And I contacted them on Twitter as well. I'm talking about Telstra. I contacted them on Twitter, and they said to me, look, that sucks. We feel bad for you, but that sucks. And hopefully it gets all fixed for you soon. That's the response they gave me. That sucks. Hopefully it gets fixed for you soon. Not, oh, why don't you try this? Or, oh, yeah, well, tell us, your address. We'll look into it for you. We'll try and fix it for you. No, that sucks. Hopefully it gets fixed for you. Really? Fuck you, Telstra. Honestly, that's just a huge fuck you to me. That was the last straw for me. I was absolutely fuming by then. It was beyond a joke. So, here we are, 2 weeks later. I still don't have internet. You're wondering why was I able to upload a video a couple of days ago. I went to my friend's place on the weekend who was kind enough to let me upload videos there. He kind of gets it. He's just started a YouTube channel himself, and he kind of gets the whole YouTube thing now, so he was cool with me uploading videos. He didn't give a shit. So I uploaded 4 videos there. I only had 4 videos ready to go, because I didn't make a video for the first week that I didn't have any internet. And now you're probably thinking, why wouldn't you make any videos? You could have been up to bragging rights by now. You could have done this, this, and this. And I certainly feel, I understand what you're saying, and I certainly agree. But I guess not having internet, for me, I'm like this type of person. When I make something, when I make a new video, I want it to be uploaded straight away, because the longer I wait on it, 2 days later, I might go and say, this video sucks, and I'll redo it. And that's a real problem that I have. There's no real reason for me to redo it, but, the longer that it's just sitting there waiting to be uploaded, the longer that I just, the more that I want to try and change it and, redo it. And so that's the problem that I have. I just like to get, as soon as I make something, I want it out there straight away. I don't like waiting around. So, I have just kind of been slack. I guess the feeling that, you can't upload any of the videos that you make was a reason why, I didn't want to make any. But, I realized, about a week after it, I've been offline, I realized, look, if you get online tomorrow and you've got no videos ready to go, you're going to look like an absolute clown. You need to get some videos up and make some now. So I got into the workstation. Not really, I don't actually have one, but I started making videos and I got a few done. So I guess one of the good things is that I was able to kind of work on them a little bit more. I added a few different things that I probably wouldn't do to some of the videos. I think my episode 25, I did a little 1 minute clip of what happened the previous episode, and some things like that. I've had a little bit extra time to kind of, do a few more things. I haven't really done that much, but I also made like a whole rankings list for my universe meta. So this is the thing, when I get bored and I've got nothing to do, this is the type of things I do. So I made a spreadsheet documenting every episode of WWE 2K16, all the wins and losses for everybody. So I've kind of got like a full, complete win-loss, win-loss data spreadsheet for everybody for the last 26 episodes of Universe Mode, 27 episodes. So that's something that I did, and I like spreadsheets, so I'm kind of weird like that. But I kind of did that in a couple hours. So I guess that's a positive. I did that, and now I have access to actually see who's doing well and who's not doing well in Universe Mode. So that's kind of cool. And I guess one thing that kind of got me through the first couple weeks was tennis. Weirdly enough, I made a lot of cash on tennis, the Australian Open. So I was watching that all day, every match that was on TV, I was watching it. I like tennis, but I'm not a massive fan of it. Certainly watching it on TV, I'm not a big fan of it. But yeah, so I kind of made a lot of cash watching that, betting on all the games. Made a lot of cash, so I can put that all towards my computer now. So I basically have all the money I need for a new computer, which is cool. But yeah, so watching a lot of tennis kind of got me through that, and that was a weird time. I kind of felt really desperate. my God, I'm watching tennis. This is the only thing that's satisfying me. I felt weird watching it. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do. And it just amazes you to how much you use the internet. Like, I wanted to watch Sons of Anarchy Season 7. So I just finished watching Season 6. And I don't have Season 7 on my hard drive. I don't have Season 7. I need Netflix or whatever. You know, I need to watch it with internet. And I don't have internet to watch it. So I've just finished Season 6. It's a huge cliffhanger. I'm so keen to watch Season 7, but I can't. And it's been the same for everything. Like, everything I wanted to do, I couldn't watch the Royal Rumble for a week. I had to stay off social media for a whole week, which is why you probably didn't hear much from me on Twitter or Facebook at all, or YouTube at all, because I couldn't go on it, because if I felt like I went on it, I might get spoiled. And luckily enough, I managed to not get spoiled at all. I don't know how I did it, but I eventually, you know, watched the Royal Rumble without getting spoiled. I kind of spoiled myself. I knew that AJ Styles had debuted at the Royal Rumble. That was it. But I didn't know what else actually happened. So that was cool. I got to watch the Rumble in the end without any spoilers. So that was great. And we'll talk about the Rumble in a moment, what exactly happened there. But I will say right now, I did really enjoy that. But at the moment, I just don't know when the internet's going to come on. Hopefully, it's going to be on very soon. I didn't mention it, but just in case, they did call today, and NBN told us that they're going to come. I don't know if they're coming here or they're just going to call up or do something. They're going to do something about the internet problem. And they said, you know, midday tomorrow, they're going to do something about it. So I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully it gets online. Fingers crossed, because I'm sick of it. I just want internet. I just want to be able to go on and look at my Facebook or, you know, look at my YouTube channel and upload a freaking video, you know. I've overused all my mobile data, so I can no longer use that. I went way overboard, and now that's going to cost me like $100 and, you know, in excess, you know, because I went overboard. So that's just, you know, another kick to the gut, and it's a shitty situation. That's all really it is. So moving into my new house in 3 weeks' time. I originally was going to get a house a couple weeks ago. I told you guys about it, but I didn't get it. Instead, we went ahead and we looked at a new house, and it's 100 times better. It's a phenomenal place. You know, it's brilliant. I absolutely love it, and it is gorgeous. So it's all brand new, renovated. The brand new kitchen, never been used before. The whole house has just been renovated. It's 4 bedrooms, all to myself. So it's pretty crazy. Got a 4-bedroom place to myself. So I'm certainly going to have my own office, which will be really cool. I'll be able to, you know, make that into my own, and I'll certainly do a setup video when that's all, you know, ready to go. And hopefully I'll have something pretty cool to kind of show you. That'd be nice. Just have a decent setup at least. I don't know if I'll do a whole house tour. Probably not, because it's going to be pretty empty. I won't have much in the house to really show you. But I'll certainly do a setup tour of my room anyways, my office, or whatever you want to call it. So my gaming room, I guess. So I'll certainly do a video on that. But I will be moving into that house. I think February 22nd is when I can first move into it. So certainly around that time. So not too far away. And obviously I'll have my internet upgraded there. NBN's already set up there. I just need to call up a company and get that installed. So probably should do that a little bit in advance so I don't have another Telstra issue. But yeah, so that should be all sweet. And I'm really happy with that. It's a gorgeous house. So very happy. So that's probably the one bit of positive news that's come out in the last couple of weeks, and the rest has been boring days, watching a lot of TV. You know, it's been raining and storming and miserable weather. It's been stinking hot. We've had power outages. It's really been a strange couple of weeks. It really has. So let's hope it can improve. That'd be great. So anyways, I guess we'll get into Monday Night Raw and the Royal Rumble and everything like that. So let's get straight into it, shall we? Alrighty, so the Royal Rumble. We're not going to talk about every single match in detail. Now, mind you, I didn't actually watch every match. I only watched Kevin Owens, Dean Ambrose, and the Royal Rumble, and I saw what happened at the end of the Sasha Banks match. The Charlotte and Becky Lynch match, where Sasha Banks came out and attacked and whatever. But so I didn't watch all the other matches because I didn't really care about them, to be honest with you. I kind of skipped through them and checked out some of the results, and you know, they didn't really interest me. But the Royal Rumble match itself was fantastic, and the Ambrose and Kevin Owens match, I really enjoyed that one as well. I thought it was pretty good. there's some good spots in there, and definitely those two guys mesh well, pretty well together. So I enjoyed that, and both guys are really due for a step up. They're doing well for that Intercontinental Championship, but I'd like to see both guys take that next step right into the main event. Certainly Kevin Owens, he's a phenomenal heel. He is really great. He just gets it. The only guy who I think is truly acting like a heel these days is Kevin Owens. So I really enjoy him at the moment. So I'd love to see him get more of an opportunity, certainly as a top-level heel, and that'd be fantastic. Better than, Sheamus and Del Rio and Rusev, all the usual guys who just, oh God, we don't care about them. It'd be great to see Kevin Owens get that chance. But the Royal Rumble match itself, it was great. Overall, probably the best Royal Rumble I've seen in a while. Last few years have been pretty flat. Have not been that great, certainly. I thought the end was great with Triple H coming out and winning the whole thing. I kind of predicted that there's a fair chance that he would win it a few weeks ago. I could see it happening. I could see him holding the belt to WrestleMania and having Roman Reigns chase it and having the Authority kind of hold the title up. So I kind of did mention that a few weeks ago. I'm not sure what episode that was, but I did kind of allude to that possibly happening. I didn't think Roman Reigns would win because, that would just be way too predictable, and I think the fans would react way too negatively towards it. So I think they did the right decision here. We had AJ Styles debut in the match, and that was great. Honestly, I'm so happy to see Styles in WWE. I mean, honestly, I never thought I would ever see it happen. I mean, I'm not the biggest AJ Styles fan, but I'm going to really watch most of his matches here in the WWE. I'm very excited to see what he can do. I mean, this is his big chance. This is him in the big leagues. What can he do? Can he get himself over? Can he become, a Daniel Bryan-like, figure in the WWE? Can he be on that popularity scale? I don't know if he can, but I think he can certainly have a big impact. No pun intended, but I think he can certainly, have a good role here in the WWE. I don't think he's going to get pushed in the main event. I can see him being in that lower tier. Maybe gets a match for the title one day in the future, but I don't think they're going to give him that big run. And they're not going to give him the title or anything like that. It's kind of amazing, though, to AJ Styles. He just looks like a dwarf compared to the WWE guys. It's just incredible, isn't it? They come to WWE, and this guy looks tiny. In TNA, he looked pretty good. I definitely thought he looked pretty good. But I haven't seen any of his New Japan work. But I've seen enough of him in TNA. I did enjoy him in TNA towards his latter period where he was, walking out of the company as the TNA champion, wrestling in other companies, with the title or whatever. I enjoyed that. I thought that was pretty cool. I liked Styles when he was doing that kind of thing. But I was never really the biggest fan of Styles. I was more into like Bobby Roode, Austin Aries to a lesser extent, Samoa Joe. Those are more of my TNA guys. I did enjoy Styles, but obviously not one of my favorites. But I'm very happy to see him in WWE. There's a lot of hype, a lot of people wanting to see him for a long time. So I just want to see what he can do. What can he do? Can he be phenomenal? Yes, pun intended, here in the WWE. And I think they've done a pretty good start pairing him up with Jericho. I think the two mesh pretty well. I think that's going to be good. And at least at the end of the day, it's a good start to Styles' career. It gets him on the right foot. And I don't know if the Bullet Club or anything like that is going to be coming along and joining him. Perhaps he'll just be solo for a long time, but for the rest of his career in the WWE, I don't know. But certainly giving him a feud with Jericho to start off with is a good idea. Will he feud with Jericho at WrestleMania? That's the thing I don't know. What will they do at WrestleMania? I kind of see him probably being involved in like a multi-man match for that Intercontinental Championship. I see Ambrose, I see Jericho, I see Styles, maybe, Kevin Owens, maybe Sami Zayn gets there. All those types of guys, I can see them being involved in a multi-man match. Maybe not another ladder match, but something, something like that. Just like last year's WrestleMania, another big multi-man match for the IC Championship. I think that'd be really cool. But I don't really see a singles match for AJ Styles at WrestleMania. I don't see them dragging out Jericho and Styles until WrestleMania. If they do, well, credit to them, but I just don't see it happening. I see it happening, those two one-on-one again at Fastlane. I think that's a definite. You could probably lock that in now, but I don't see them dragging out to WrestleMania. So probably a multi-man match is my prediction for Styles. We also had Triple H win the championship in this match. And I think Triple H being his champion is fine. I don't think I have a real problem with it. He's not going to wrestle until WrestleMania. That's fine. I mean, they can get away with that, and they've done it in the past. The storyline makes sense for it, and people can complain about it all they want. I haven't seen that many complaints about it, quite honestly. I've seen a few people kind of and ah about it, but to me, the storyline makes sense for it. It's the right decision for the storyline. You got Roman Reigns, everything's been stacked against him. In the Royal Rumble, he thinks he might actually win the Royal Rumble, but he doesn't. Triple H comes out, eliminates Roman Reigns, and Reigns loses the title. His brother's trying to win it for him, Dean Ambrose, but Triple H gets him out too. The way they did the Rumble, the finish was fantastic. I really, really like that. So, Triple H is champion. I mean, he can just come out and just be cocky and arrogant. He doesn't even have to really show up much. He didn't really do much on Raw this week. And everyone can just be chasing the title. You got Lesnar, you got Reigns, you got Ambrose, all trying to win that main event spot at WrestleMania. It's simple, it's effective, and you don't really need Triple H out there. You don't, do we feel like the show's missing something with Triple H not there really much this week on Raw? No, I don't think so. I think we had plenty more than enough. All the focus is about that WrestleMania match with Triple H. After Fastlane, I think then, yes, Triple H has got to be on Raw more often, doing more, being involved in the storyline, but for now, he doesn't really need to be there. Maybe just show up, and like he did this week on Raw, show up and just remind people he's the champ and, whatever. So, that's fine with me, and, I've always been a big fan of Triple H, so I'm happy to see him in this role, and I'm happy to see him at WrestleMania, and I think it's going to be Roman Reigns versus Triple H, quite obviously. That's probably the way to go. That's probably the best way to go, and, I think Roman Reigns will definitely win the match. It'd be ridiculous if Triple H defended it and won. So Reigns finally gets his big moment, finally gets his big win over the Authority at WrestleMania. It's predictable, yeah, but sometimes predictable is good. We don't always need a big swerve. Sometimes you just let the storyline, that all the smart fans know what's going to happen. Yeah, we know Reigns is going to win at Fastlane. He's probably going to pin Dean Ambrose. They're going to have this moment throughout. They're going to take out Lesnar together. They'll probably have a moment throughout the match where, look, we just have to put differences aside. We just have to go after each other, and we have to, do this. One of us has to beat Triple H. We'll see who the best man is. I don't think anyone's going to turn. I don't think that's in the question either. But certainly, I think they'll just battle it out. And I think Roman Reigns will get the better of Dean Ambrose and go on to face Triple H. So I think this is the right storyline. I just think it's the right way to go. Roman Reigns wins the belt and finally gets a long, lengthy reign with the title. You move him away from the Authority. You start something fresh. Whether somebody returns the night after WrestleMania, somebody debuts, something like that, I don't know. Or maybe Brock Lesnar gets a big win at WrestleMania, then challenges Reigns for the belt. I don't know, but something along those lines you could start to do. But certainly Roman Reigns winning the title is the best for business. We also had Sami Zayn. He was back on the Royal Rumble. He's not actually back on the main roster, though, it seems. Like he wasn't on Raw the last couple of weeks, but he had an opportunity to be in the Royal Rumble, which was cool. Didn't last very long, but nonetheless, good to see him in the match. Just kind of reminding fans about him. I don't think it's going to be long until he's on the main roster. I think you'll probably find that he might debut again, re-debut officially after WrestleMania. I think there's no real point bringing him in now. I mean, I could see somebody from NXT being in a WrestleMania match, which is why I mentioned Sami Zayn being involved in like a ladder match at WrestleMania, whatever, for that IC title. I can see somebody from NXT getting an opportunity like that. I mean, they did that with the Andre the Giant Battle Royal thing. Maybe they'll just do that again. But if not, I wouldn't mind seeing, an NXT guy get an opportunity on a title, for the IC title, in a multi-man match, for example. I think that'd be pretty cool. But I kind of feel bad for him that he's not back on the main roster right now. I think he deserves to be there. And there's a time right now where I think you could probably fit Sami Zayn on there. And you get away with it. I guess having AJ Styles debut probably took Sami Zayn's spot. Probably that spot has been given to Styles, so he kind of misses out again. So, Sami Zayn a little unlucky once again. But I guess, when you get injured, sometimes it's not going to go your way. You're going to have to wait your turn. So that's really the Royal Rumble chat. Not much really else to talk about that. I mean, I could go in depth about some other things, but we'll talk more about, what's been going on in Fastlane when we get to this week's Raw. But first, Austin Aries has officially debuted on NXT. I haven't seen the footage. I saw a couple pictures, but I haven't really seen much of the footage. Obviously, I haven't had any internet to watch it. But Austin Aries in the WWE on NXT. Very similar to what I think Samoa Joe is going to be doing, just coming in there, a name, boosting up NXT, boosting up the live attendance shows, just to kind of attract those independent fans again. I think it's a great move, though. I think Austin Aries is a good decision. I think, like a year ago when he left TNA, I kind of knew he'd be in the WWE at some point. I just think it was a matter of time when, and it finally happened. I mean, Austin Aries, he's pretty good. I do definitely enjoy him, and I think he'll be a good addition to NXT. I think he'll certainly provide something, and they do need a few more names, because there's a possibility of Finn Balor moving up, possibility of even, there's been some talk about Samoa Joe even moving up. So they do need some more names coming in. They couldn't get James Storm. I think Austin Aries is better than James Storm anyway, so it's a better replacement for Storm regardless. So I'm happy to see Aries in WWE. I think that's a good thing, and I think his first few might be with Baron Corbin. Don't quote me. I think that was the guy who attacked him. I don't know if that was a one-off thing, but so immediately he's been thrown straight into it. So we know that he's going to be doing something, and it's not just a one-shot deal like James Storm's was. It's actually legitimate. He's in WWE. So I think that's cool. Aries in WWE. I think that'll be exciting and should add another nice element to NXT. And looking forward to it. I haven't watched too much of NXT. I do kind of watch their takeover specials, but I need to kind of get into it. I need to watch more of it, I think. I just got to find the time. Got to find the time, my wrestling quota, to fit it in. I also need to find the time to get the time to watch Lucha Underground, which just returned this couple weeks, I think, ago. So the second season's back on. I haven't had a chance at all. Obviously, have no internet to watch their show, but that's something I want to try and do again this season. I want to stay up to date with Lucha Underground and keep watching it. I mean, I did pretty well last season, but I kind of fell away with it after maybe 10 episodes or so. But love Lucha Underground, and I need to get watching it again. So I'm looking forward to checking out how that first episode was. So this week's Monday Night Raw. Let's get straight into it, shall we? So we kicked off the show. We had Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose out there, and this is a nice little confrontation, I've got to say. I mean, Lesnar and Ambrose is a matchup that I think is going to be pretty cool, and I like what they did with Dean Ambrose's character. Him not caring, just coming out, look, I might get beaten up here, but so what? And I'm not going to let show that I'm scared of this guy. I'm just going to stand right in his face and tell him how it is. And I think that's really cool. I think that's what Dean Ambrose's character should be doing. No fucks given, just stand right in front of the guy's face and, just tell him how it is. I think that's the way to go. So, very happy to see Ambrose doing that, and I think I'm really looking forward to seeing that little confrontation between the two at Fastlane. So, that's going to be pretty exciting. I think Fastlane's shaping up to be a pretty good show, despite the name being utterly terrible. I hate the name Fastlane. I think the show is looking to be shaping up to be pretty good. As well as that, what else we got? Obviously Brock Lesnar. I mean, you could probably say Brock Lesnar probably should have beaten up Ambrose there, Instead, he let Ambrose walk away. Was that the right thing for Lesnar to do? Yeah, he got his revenge later in the night, so it doesn't really matter. He got his F5 later on. Picked and chose his spot. More smart, I suppose. So, we talked about a moment ago, but Chris Jericho and AJ Styles, their feud, looks as though they're continuing on, had Styles on Miz TV, and the interesting is, AJ Styles wasn't allowed to talk. So the WWE obviously are not letting him talk very much. Last week, they tried to let him talk on the mic. They had an interview with him. Chris Jericho cut him off. This week, The Miz kept cutting him off. So I guess they know Styles is not a strong mic worker, and I think his accent is also a bit of a turn-off. His big southern accent, to me, doesn't scream like a big, strong, menacing, tough guy, does it? So that's just me. But I just feel as though him not talking, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think eventually he has to talk. Eventually you've got to do something. You've got to explain who he is. But I guess The Miz kind of did all the talking for him. And The Miz is great. I think this character he's doing now on Miz TV, I think that's great. He's such an annoying guy, such an annoying heel, and he gets his ass kicked at the end of the day. And it works for everybody. Miz gets a little bit of heat, and I think he'll do, it's a good thing for Styles. I think the crowd got behind Styles because of it. People wanted to hear from Styles. People wanted Styles to beat The Miz up. So it works well. I think The Miz plays his character very well. So you can say what you want to say about the guy in the ring, but certainly on the mic, he can certainly get it done. I think he's great on the mic. In the ring, I don't care about him, but certainly that's why I always think The Miz should be a manager or just a spokesperson or something like that. Doing the Miz TV thing is fine. I think the role they're doing him now is fine, but so Styles not talking is very interesting. I don't know, will they let him talk eventually? I think they will, but I don't know. I just think it's very interesting. They obviously have no real faith in his promo ability. Maybe he said, look, I'm not a real strong promo, maybe let's try and cut back on my talking. Maybe he requested it, I don't know. Maybe it was somebody who's been scouting him out and watching him and look, this guy can't really talk, let's try and avoid him talking. I don't know, maybe it's a little bit of both, but no talking from AJ just quite yet. We'll see if he does utter a few words in the future. I think he said a few words, but I don't think he's a horrible talker. I think he's any worse than Daniel Bryan, for example, but I just think maybe they just want to showcase him in the ring and highlight his best work and best attributes in the ring rather than try and showcase his weakness. Probably a smart idea. Sasha Banks has gone solo. She has officially dropped Team Bad and looks as though we might be heading towards maybe a Team Bad versus Team Sasha, or not a Team Sasha, but a Team Bad versus Sasha Banks match at Fastlane. Maybe Sasha Banks beats Naomi, or maybe she beats Tamina, one of the two. Maybe both at the same time. I don't know. Maybe Becky Lynch joins them and makes it a tag team match. And I don't know. Maybe it seems to me the direction they're heading in is obviously Sasha versus Charlotte for the Divas Championship, which I think is long overdue. I think we're ready for that. But so it seems to me that's the way we're kind of headed. And I'm happy with that. I think Sasha Banks it's the right time for her. I mean, Becky Lynch, I've been getting behind her a lot. I think she's really great. She's really starting to come into her own. I'm really enjoying her work. So it's going to be sad to see her kind of tossed to the side a little bit. But I think it probably should have been Sasha Banks from the get-go in that position, not Becky Lynch. So she's probably lucky that she even had that kind of spotlight for that length of time. I think Sasha Banks was out injured for a little bit of time, which probably did prolong her time at the top before Sasha Banks came along. So Sasha Banks, let her beat up Team Bad a couple times on Raw and maybe at the pay-per-view. Have it looking really good. Maybe a number one contendership matchup between Becky and Sasha before WrestleMania, a few weeks before WrestleMania, and you start the Sasha Banks versus Charlotte feud. Get that going, and at WrestleMania, one-on-one, Sasha versus Charlotte, and have Sasha Banks win the title against Charlotte at Mania. I think that'd be the right way to go, in my opinion. I think Sasha Banks deserves to win the championship, and I think Charlotte's time as champion has played out. I think it's run its course. I think we can deal with it until WrestleMania, but the whole having Ric Flair there and her cheating and, is she a babyface, is she not? She's finally decided that she's a full-fledged heel and now she's cheating every match. I don't know, I'm just not really into it. I just think Charlotte needs to go back to the drawing board a little bit and, maybe let her kind of chase the title around a bit. Maybe, maybe you turn her back face, maybe you turn, I guess, Sasha Banks, probably a full-fledged babyface now, so I don't know, but I think definitely at WrestleMania, Sasha and Charlotte should be a good match. I'm looking forward to seeing how that one does play out. We have the Usos out there again. Look, I'm going to say this. The Usos are stale. The Usos are stale. They need a change. I'm sick to death. I changed the channel when they came on. I think I switched it over to the American Presidential Caucus Iowa thing that was going on. I don't even really care, but I found that more interesting than the Usos match because I'm just so over seeing them now. I think the Usos beyond stale right now. Can you turn them heel? Not really, because they're doing the whole Roman Reigns thing. You got the Rock thing. It's hard to turn them heel, but they need to try and freshen up their character. They haven't really been back for all that long, but yet it just feels like they've been here forever. Felt like they never left. So the Usos are so stale right now. I just cannot stand them. They need to do something. A heel turn, maybe not. Maybe change the character a little bit, tweak it a little bit, change some of their repertoire. Do something. Add a manager, do something. I don't know. You've got to do something because I'm bored of them. They are stale to me. And another odd thing that's been going on, Titus O'Neil. Is he getting a push? Like, what's going on here? Titus O'Neil, he's starting to pick up some wins. I guess, are they kind of just doing that because he's winning all these awards and he's showcasing all his great charity work and community services work. Is that the reason why they're kind of giving them these wins? It feels like that's the reason why. But are they considering maybe Titus O'Neil actually gets a real push, a singles push? I've always been a Titus O'Neil fan. I always think he and Darren Young, the primetime players, are great. I don't know where Darren Young is right now. I think he might be injured. So Titus O'Neil back on his own again. So, honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing it. I mean, when they turned him heel, I think it might have been last year, maybe around about this time last year, or maybe it was a year ago before that. Whenever they turned him heel, before they had the primetime play, when they had the primetime players split up, terrible idea. The guy has babyface written all over him. He's got a big smile. He's got a big heart. You know, he's a guy the crowd can get behind it. Yet they turned him heel. So if they let him have a solo run as a babyface, I think it can work. I think the guy, he's getting up there in age, but he's got the size, he's got the strength, he's got the look, and I think he's got enough charisma there as well. So I think he can get himself over. You know, they just got to give him some time. They just got to give him a chance. And it's so odd they're kind of giving him that opportunity now before WrestleMania. During WrestleMania season, it's kind of a bit odd. But who knows? Maybe they might give Titus O'Neil just a little bit of momentum, a bit of steam, just kind of build him up a little bit. You know, it wouldn't be a bad idea. Would it? So, I mean, it's kind of an odd selection for Titus of all people to probably be getting it at this stage. You think maybe like a Neville might be getting it, maybe Tyler Breeze, for example. But look, maybe they're just saying, okay, this might be Titus O'Neil's last chance as a single star. Let's see what he can do. Let's see what he's got. Let's see what he can offer as a singles. Can he be successful? Maybe that's the WWE's thinking. This is this guy's last chance. Let's see how he goes. Can he get himself over? And if he can, fantastic. Because Mark Henry's on his way out. They probably need R-Truth's getting up there in age. They probably need another black guy, to kind of step up and, fill that role, fill that African-American role. And I think Titus O'Neil can be that guy. I think he's very, very talented. And I guess, the WWE, their way of thinking is that we need to have a certain amount of Mexican guys, we need to have an Indian guy, we need to have a couple of British guys, European guys, we need to have a certain amount of everybody. And if Mark Henry's stepping away, then we need someone else to fill the spot. So I guess, Titus O'Neil's there by default. Maybe they'll bring him in. Obviously, Apollo Crews is going to be a huge star as well. He's going to be another guy who's going to be great for that role. But, so it seems that they might just be giving Titus O'Neil that opportunity just to kind of perhaps fill the void of a Mark Henry. I know, obviously, Mark Henry's a monster, but Titus O'Neil's certainly a huge guy. So I think it'd be pretty cool to kind of give him a real chance. So did we talk about Sheamus getting injured? I don't know if I mentioned that. Sheamus getting injured. The injury woes have been continuing again. I mean, more guys are getting injured. I think Del Rio was also injured as well. Obviously, he was fine. He was on Raw this week, so he must have just been a minor injury. Sheamus, I don't think, was there, and I think his injury might be a little bit more severe. So, again, Sheamus, made of glass. This guy just keeps on getting injured. A bit like Bad News Barrett is another guy who just keeps on getting injured, yet they still persist with these guys. I don't know why. Rusev's becoming another one of those guys as well. So many guys just injured at the moment. It's crazy. It's just unbelievable who is getting injured. It's hard to honestly believe. I cannot honestly believe all these injuries. I can't remember a time where there has been all these top guys out at the same time. God forbid Roman Reigns gets injured or Dean Ambrose gets injured. Oh my God, Raw will be screwed. Quite honestly, Raw would be screwed. Imagine if Roman Reigns was out right now. Kevin Owens was out. Oh my God. So, as much as I hate Sheamus, you don't want to see anybody get injured. And, obviously he has a part to fill on the show. He's got a top level heel, so we do need him. But it sucks that he's out. I'm not going to really miss him, but I don't know how long the injury is. He might be back next week. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not really up to date with everything, but as far as I know, Sheamus does have an injury. So, yeah, it's just kind of crazy, all these injuries. We talked about it in depth a couple of weeks ago, but, it's just unbelievable right now. Cena's out. Nikki Bella is just getting neck surgery. Daniel Bryan probably not coming back anytime soon. We've seen Tyson Kidd on Total Divas. He looks in pretty rough shape. It's just unbelievable. All these injuries. It's just crazy right now. And finally, to end this week's Raw, I just want to note this. Terrible, terrible ending because of the poor camera work. You had the comment, they had the camera on Roman Reigns and Kofi Kingston, who weren't doing anything interesting, just kind of out there, just kind of brawling around a little bit. And then you have Brock Lesnar coming to the ring, and they missed it. They only just called the end of it where Lesnar was coming in and hit the F5 on Dean Ambrose. That was the big moment to finish the show, and they just caught it. They almost missed it. How could their production team mess that up? I don't know. And I don't even know what Reigns and Kofi Kingston were doing out there or anything. I think Lesnar should have come in and, F5 both of them. Wouldn't that make more sense? Roman Reigns got away unscathed. I think he should have come in and beat the hell out of both of them. But, just a little, very poor ending. And once again, Raw going overtime. Oh my god. It's amazing. You got 3 hours of a show, and yet you still can't fit it in the 3 hours. You got to fit it in 3 hours and 10, 15 minutes. It's unbelievable. Watching Raw today, after an hour, it just felt, I'm like, oh my god, there's still 2 more hours to go. Oh my god, it just felt like it dragged on forever. And that's not a good thing. I mean, we've talked about this, it's been talked to death, but oh my god, man. Raw just feels so long. It'd be so much better. I think I would really enjoy Raw a lot more and probably pay more attention to all the matches and not flick through the channels if it was only 2 hours. But when you got 3 hours, you're kind of like, alright, here's a match between the Usos and the Social Outcasts. Don't care about this match. It's probably going to go 10 minutes, a commercial break in between. So let me just go watch something else and I'll come back in 15 minutes and, it should be over. Come back 15 minutes later. Oh, look, the Usos won. Alright, sweet. On to the next thing. So you can kind of just, skip away the parts you don't want to see even when you're watching it live. But, oh man, sometimes it's just getting harder and harder to watch through 3 hours. And certainly when they go overtime, there's no excuses. I mean, how can they get away with that? It's just, who the hell is wanting more? who the hell wants the show to go for 3 hours and 10 minutes? Let's make Raw 4 hours. That'd be great. Please, no. I probably shouldn't be giving them any ideas, but honestly, it's getting ridiculous at this point. Come on. But that's really all I've got to say about this week on wrestling. Maybe I'll mention the Sunny thing again. Sunny, we talked about a couple weeks ago. She was selling her Hall of Fame ring. Apparently it was all a publicity stunt. Apparently she already had signed on to do a pornographic film with who are they? I don't remember who the starts with V, I believe. The company, I forget. Was it Vivid? I know that's a porn company. I think it might be them. I don't know. But so they signed. She signed on to do as far as I know, an hour-long porn movie. I think it's, if you want to know what it is, I think it's called Sunny Side Up in the Back Door or something like that. Something ridiculous like that. And I will say my curiosity got the better of me. There's a trailer online. I did watch it, and it's not as bad as China. I'll just say that. It's not as bad as China, but it's probably not really advisable to watch. It's not terrible, quite honestly, but look, she's old, but it probably should have happened 15 years ago. If she happened 15 years ago, shit, that'd be good. But now it's not pretty. But she's getting paid over $100,000 to do it. So I kind of said a few weeks ago, look, just take the money. Take the money and run. Do the thing. We all have seen all your pictures online. You can look up her pictures online. There's millions of it. But I just think it's about time. Just do the friggin' thing and piss off. I think Sunny's just a cancer to wrestling. I just don't want to hear about her anymore. Yes, just take the money, take it while you can, and just enjoy it and go away. That'd be all I want to say for Sunny. She's just a disgrace to the Hall of Fame, and she's just probably ruined any possible chance of any possibility of doing anything with the WWE ever again, even though there's probably no chance to begin with. But I think she probably knew that. She probably knew that this is her last chance of getting a big payday, so she's going to take it. And I can't blame her for that. But, I would really advise checking it out. I don't know. You're probably going to have to pay for it anyways, and who the fuck wants to pay for that? So, no thanks for Sunny, but she has agreed to do the porn movie, and I believe she's already done it. So, that's that. Yeah, moving on. But not really much else to kind of talk about this week. It was a pretty busy week, like I said, but I'm not completely in the loop. And obviously no questions this week, so make sure you do send your questions in next episode, for next episode. I know some of you guys left some voicemails. I can't access them. Obviously no internet. I do apologize for those who did send one in. I will listen to them next week, and if they can still be answered, I've not already talked about it on the podcast, I will play them for you guys next week. But if you have another voicemail, make sure you send it in for next week's show as well on brendanplays.com by clicking the right hand side of the page, the big green button that says Let's Talk Tuesdays, leave a voicemail. Click on that, talk away, keep it short and sweet to the point, and I should play it next episode. And leave a comment below in the YouTube comment section or at the forums, brendanplays.com/forums. If you want to leave a question there, I'm thinking about also opening it up on the Facebook page, creating like a Let's Talk Tuesdays post every week, and just kind of getting you guys to post any questions there. So let me know in the comments if that's something that would be working better for you. You can just kind of see it up on your Facebook page, jot down a question when you're reminded of it, because you might forget to come back after watching Raw and leave a question, but you might get reminded about it on Facebook. So make sure you like the Facebook page, Brendan Plays Official, and you can make sure that you stay up to date with everything there as well. And if there's enough people who want to see that, who want me to do the Facebook questions, then I will certainly do that as well. It's certainly something I think I need to do. Twitter's a little bit harder, but Facebook is a little bit easier. You can just do it on one post, have it all there together. I think that will work pretty well. So let me know if that's something you would be interested in doing, and I'll certainly get that done next week for you. And finally, the last segment on the show, what is Brendan playing? Well, having no internet means that most of my games on the PS4 are locked. The reason for that is because me and my friend, he has my account on his PS4, I have his account on my PS4, we buy games for each other, and some of his games are available to me offline. Some of his games are available to me offline. My games are not available to me offline. Weird, I know, but that's just the way it works. So all the games that I normally play, aren't really available to me. Luckily enough, W2K16 is available to me offline, thank goodness. But some of the games I don't play are not. So this week I did start a new game, Mad Max. I was originally going to play Unity, but I need online to play it because I have a DLC pack for it, and it won't work without it. And I know there's a new Black Ops 3 DLC. I'm chomping at the bit to get into that. Check that out. I really want a new map pack for the game, so I'm excited to see that one. So that'll be something I do as soon as I get my internet back. But Mad Max, I finally got a chance to play this game. I borrowed it off my friend. He lent me the disc for it, and I love it, man. I mean, game's really crazy. I mean, open world is something I love. I love exploring. I love collecting things. I love checking out everything. I love that element to the game. And the storyline's really interesting as well. I've just kind of really gone into it. I think it's something that you guys should be definitely checking out. It's a game I think kind of flew past a lot of people's radars. It kind of came out in September, and I was very interested in it. I was like, yep, this is great. Can't wait to play this. But then it kind of just faded away a little bit in the background, and I never got around to getting it, and I finally got a chance to play it now, and I love it, man. It's a fantastic game. I think I'm 8 hours into it, so I played a fair bit of it whilst I was offline. I actually had played a lot of PS2 as well when I didn't have internet, because most of the games were not available, so I played a bit of PS2, nothing really special on that, just some old sport games on the PS2. Big cricket fan, so I played one of the old classic cricket games on there. That was fun. But my PS3's also been out of action as well. My controller isn't working for it. I don't know if I need a new controller or what. So I turn my controller on, it blinks and then doesn't work. It connects to the PS3 and then it'll just turn itself off after a minute, and it doesn't need any charge apparently. I don't know, but I can't find my other controller for it. It has gone missing. I have no idea where it is. It has just gone walkabout. I have no idea. So I probably need a new PS3 controller, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. So that's that. And we're in a bit of limbo right now, kind of waiting for the next few games to come out. I mean, Far Cry Primal, Uncharted, Yeah, you know what's coming out, all those kind of games. I'm kind of waiting for those to come out. I know that that 5-star wrestling game came out on the PS4 this week. I probably won't be getting that. I already got it on the PS3. It's okay, but I probably won't be playing that again. But yeah, so just kind of waiting for the new games to come out. I want to play Unity, but I can't just quite yet. But yeah, so I would love to kind of get on stream and hopefully get my internet sorted. I know the whole theme of the podcast, no internet, but the theme about it is important because I would love to get on Twitch and just kind of fly through some of my games and just play as many games as I can and just kind of, get through some of them and get some trophies on them. So that'd be something I'd love to do with you guys. And yeah, so I do apologize again for the lack of videos. Stay tuned to my Twitter. I don't know when my internet's going to be on. Just bear with me. I'm trying my best. I'm doing everything I can. Literally nothing, but I'm trying my best to get the internet on. Hopefully tomorrow we have a new update about it. I'll let you guys know on Twitter. And leave a question for next week's episode as well. I would really appreciate that. And hopefully Fastlane is good. It's looking pretty good so far. I'm very intrigued to see how it shapes up to be, but so far so good. And hope to see all you guys on my forums at brendanplays.com/forums, and leave a like on this week's episode if you did enjoy it. And I'll see you all next Tuesday.